Movie review number 1516 is The Carpenter's Son. The Carpenter's Son is a 2025 movie directed by Wafdi Nathan. So this movie has Magnolia Pictures, Goodfellas Productions, Spacemaker Productions, Cinenovo Productions, Anonymous Content Films, Curious Gremlin Productions, and Saturn Films. I saw this movie on November 19th, 2025 at Regal Cinema 16 in Deerfield Town Center of Mason, Ohio. So, this movie stars Nicolas Cage, FKA Trades, and Noah Jupe in the movie. So this movie takes place in a remote village in Roman-era Egypt that is brought into spiritual warfare when a carpenter, his wife, and their child are targeted by supernatural forces. Joseph, Mary, and their teenage son, Jesus, have lived for years under threat, clinging to their faith and traditions. But a stopover in a small settlement unleashes growing chaos when a mysterious stranger tries to entice young Jesus to abandon his devout father's rules. With every pore of temptation, the boy is lured into a forbidden world, as a terrified Joseph realizes that a demonic power is at work. Violent, unsupernatural events inexplicably follow Jesus, and he begins to experience nightmarish visions of the future. Finally, he learns that the fearsome truth about his new playmate, as well as the child's real name, Satan. So this movie draws from the Coptic Christian background that delivers a meticulously crafted genre-bending supernatural thriller that is packed with unshakable images of the divine and demonic at war. Pretty interesting. So it does follow Joseph, Mary, and their son Jesus, but they are being targeted by supernatural forces. When Satan, who represents a young boy, tries to persuade Jesus into abandoning his father's devout rules. And Jesus is kind of torn between listening to his father or listening to the stranger, who is like the devil. And it's pretty interesting on how Joseph and Mary react to all of this, as they're wanting to keep Jesus safe, and they're not really sure who this boy is or who this threat is until later on in the movie. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So it does feature Christian characters like Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, but this story is told in a different perspective than the ones that are probably told in church. But you know, Joseph and Mary, they are the father and mother of Jesus, who basically is the Son of God. Well, in this movie, Jesus is known as the Carpenter's Son, and he is torn between listening to his parents, or parents' rules, guidelines, etc., versus listening to the stranger who tells Jesus to abandon his father's rules and to follow his own path that may lead into darkness. Interesting. I won't say how the movie ended, but it's pretty interesting for Jesus to have a conflict between the good and the devil, and to figure out where he will lead or where he will go at the end of the movie. So, this movie has Nicolas Cage as the carpenter, FKA Trades portrays the mother, Noah Jupe portrays the boy, Suhiro Yaku portrays William, and Ira Johnston portrays the stranger. So, this movie is a supernatural thriller film, and it does deal with supernatural forces that are targeting the carpenter, the mother, and the son. who are known as Joseph, Mary, and Jesus. So, I did hear before seeing this movie about some of the controversies around this movie, but I still decided to see it. I thought it was pretty good. It's definitely unexpected at some parts because you wonder how Jesus eventually got to being good and full of grace, and how Satan tried to lure him into the dark side. I won't say exactly what happens, but let's just say it does have a different perspective on Jesus's decision on what he will lead to later on in the movie. But yeah, this was pretty good. So that's my movie review of The Carpenter's Son, Precinct 2 from this movie review. Alright, goodbye.